how I met Dada, I already described. Now, what happened and in what circumstances I met Dada? I met Dada first, most probably on May 6th, 1982. I think it was a Thursday evening. And my friend Arun Shah, who was one of our members of the Chinmaya Mission Group, invited me to his home. And I went there. And so when I met him first time, he was sitting in a sofa sitting room, and there were maybe about 10 people or something, 10 to 15 people there. That included Dadashri and Niruban and Ketsibai, who was the Sakat Sangpati, and then Narechenya, and then Kaviraj, and my wife Ramila, and a few other people. So almost for 1 or 1.5 hours, Dada talked with me and Ramila, and there were other people who participated in satsang, but the talk was with me. And he was very dressed in a very simple way, just like our grandfather would be, with a like sadra, the informal night dress that we have in India. And he was sitting, no pretension, didn't feel like he was somebody great, But so he said, "What's your name?" and all those things he said. And then he said, "How did you come here? Did you come here yourself?" I said, "Yes, I came myself only." Then he says, "Did you require a car to come here?" I said, "Yes, I need a car to come here." Then he says, "Did you have to need petrol in the car to come here?" I said, "Yes." "Could you come here if there was a puncture in the car?" "No." "Could you come here if you had a headache?" "No." "Could you come here if you were coming and then the hospital called you? Could you come here?" I said, "No." Then he says, "How can you say that you came here by yourself? You needed all these things to come here, right?" I said, "Yeah, but I had the desire to come, that's why I came." "But no, you came here. Yes, your desire was one factor, but you needed so many other things, to come here." Then he says, "Okay, tell me, what other thing have you done in your life?" So I said, "I became a doctor, I went to the college, and I did all this stuff." Then he says, "Can you become a doctor without going to college? So you needed a college, right?" I said, "Yes." "You needed professors, yes. You needed patients, right? You needed all the knowledge of all these people to become a doctor, right?" I said, "Yes." "You needed money, yes. You needed good health, yes. Then how are you claiming I became a doctor?" He says that. I say, "Yeah, you're right there." Then he again asked me, "What have you done in your life? Have you not done anything in your life?" I said, "Well, I came to America and I settled and this and that." So again he came, there were so many factors in this too. Then again he said, "What have you done?" Then Dada said, I haven't done anything. You tell me what I have done." Then he says, "You don't know what you have done, and you claim what you have not done. You claim that I have done this. This is the problem, So I said, "What is it that I have done? Tell me, because I can't think of anything that has happened without circumstances." Then he talked about a guest coming at night. He said, "Suppose you were in Bombay and you had a small house, and you were not well off, and you had one bedroom and your wife and 2 children, and both of you work, and a guest came in the middle of the night and knocked the door. And there were not only one, there were 5, 6 guests. And then knocked the door. And then if you knock the door, what will you do?" I said, "I'll go out and see who it is and open the door. Oh, your old friend from the village has come." So what will you think? And then he says, I have brought 5 more people with me. Now you have 1 bedroom and there is no place to sleep, and you start thinking, what will you think? What will you say? I said, I will tell them to come inside. Come. They said, what will you think inside? I said, I think, wow, how come they have come here? I think, મુઆ ક્યાંથી આયા? Just for this word. અત્યારે મુઆ ક્યાંથી આયા? That would be what you think inside. So it means, how come they are coming now in the middle of the night without even informing? That's what you'll think inside. But outside you'll say, come, sit down. So I said, yes, Dada, that would happen. Then they will come inside the house, and then you'll say, oh, have you have a cup of tea? Then your friend will say, oh, since we left the village in the morning, we haven't had any food. It would be nice to have some khichdi kadi. And then, you go and tell your wife now, Ramila, કે આ લોકો આવે છે જરા ખાવાનું બનાવો. તો એને શું થાય અંદર કે અત્યારે રાતના 12 વાગે જમાડવાનું કોઈને? You have to feed these people in the middle of the night now? And so her intention will spoil within. But she'll wake up and she'll smile and greet the guest and make the food and give the food and smilingly. But inside she would be cursing. So what crazy people these are, coming in the middle of the night. So then he said, all the things that happen outside, you greeted the person, then you fed them, that is all, you are not the doer of it. It is because of circumstances that has happened. But the inside bhav you made, atyare, how come they are coming in the middle of the night? That is what you, purushat. It is called relative purushat. So that's what he said first time. And so that really struck me as something different than what I had heard from everywhere else. We had a lot of discussion about free will and destiny. But this was the very first clear thing, that destiny means where circumstances are involved, it's destiny, and what is happening within you is your purushat or your free will. So this was a very interesting thing for me, and I had never heard anybody say this. So for me this was very impressive, and I liked that, and it made sense. It was all logical. And my first impression of Dada Bhagwan, that nobody told us that he is Bhagwan and things like that. Nobody had told us that. Just Ambala, they used to call Ambala Gnani Purusha. That's all they said. So I was open. I was not closed that, oh, I'm coming here, what I will gain. I was open, and I just heard him, and I listened, and I grasped his talk, and I liked his talk. But other than that, I had no such a great impression that, oh, this is God and this is the highest person, and no, nothing like that. But I liked the talk, and I liked his knowledge. So that was my first meeting. And then they said, oh, there is Gnan on Saturday, so you come. So I said, I will come. Nobody explained what is Gnan. But I thought must be some ceremony or something. But I said, I will come. And then on that Saturday, which is I think May 8th, I had to go on a hiking trip, climbing mountains and just enjoying the nature. So I had reserved that, and I had to go there. So I did go there for this hiking trip, and I enjoyed the hike. And then I came back at 6 o'clock or so. So Dada was waiting on the other side. Oh, very Shirish Pai. When he comes, then I have to give Gnan. He was waiting. And Ramila was there already at the Gnan Vidhi place. And so Dada was waiting. And then Ramila called me. Oh, Dada is waiting for you. The Gnan Vidhi is going to start. I said, tell Dada to start the Gnan Vidhi. I'm having a cup of tea and coming. So Dada waited for me, but then when I said go ahead, he started the Gnan Vidhi. And by the time I reached Dada's place, Arun Bhai's place, where the first Gnan Vidhi was, on May 8th, 1982, then I was late. And the Gnan Vidhi, the where he speaks sentences, that part was over. And Dada was explaining the 5 Agnas. So when I heard the 5 Agnas, I really liked it. Very first time, I immediately liked it. And I said, well, this is exactly what I have learned in the Gita, that you are Atma and you are not the doer. And there was much more than this Gita, like the files and a file. So it was very impressive to me. And I said, this is the most practical Gita. The very first time I heard 5 Agnas, I said, this is the most practical Gita that is there. So at the end, I went to Dada. There was a very small group, maybe 20, 30 people only. And Dada was very approachable. And so I told Dada, oh, I like this Gnan Vidhi, it's so nice. It's the same thing as Gita. And Dada says, you have not got the Gnan at all. I said, why, Dada? Then he says, we have to separate, we have to do operation. And we have to separate the I and my. Then only this knowledge works, Then I said, Dada, okay, I want this Gnan. Then he was testing me. He says, I can't give this to you now. You have to come to San Francisco, which is about 500 miles, So, will you come there? I said, yes. Oh, will you close your office? Yeah, I will close my office for one day and come and take the Gnan, but I want this Gnan. And so circumstances happened that after 3 days, another Gnan Vidhi was held at Shashikant Bhai's house, which is just next door to Arun Bhai's house. And that's how I took the Gnan first time. And I said the words, everything. And this is how I took the Gnan. So in this first visit, I think he stayed about 1 week or 10 days. And then he went away, I think, to other parts of America. And he reached Oak Ridge back there, and there was not too much things to do. So some Mahatmas from LA said that let's call Dada again back. And we get together 5 or 7 Mahatmas, and he says we'll need 5 tickets to bring them because all 5 guests have to come. That's Dada Bhagwan, Niruma, Kaviraj, Rasik Bhai Narachenya, Ketsibai, Kabir, everybody has to come back one more time. So we got together and said, okay, we'll fund the tickets. We got the money together and we requested them to come back second time to Los Angeles. So he came to Los Angeles 2 times in the first visit. And also we were lucky in Los Angeles that he came to Los Angeles every year 2 times. We had the privilege of getting Dada visiting us 2 times, which didn't happen to many cities. I think no cities got that. And every time he would come, he would stay 1 to 2 weeks, mostly 2 weeks. So we got 4 weeks of Dada, almost 3 to 4 weeks of Dada every year. 1982 he came, and then 1983 he didn't come. 84 he came, 85, 86, 87. And in 87 he stayed almost 4 or 5 months in Los Angeles at the Watergate Motel of Rambai. And then when he came second time, we had more exposure to satsang. But I was not kind of sold on this is the only thing. Ramila would say, oh, we have to go there again. I said, we have been there already. We don't have to go every day. And then there would be Gnan Vidhi, but I wouldn't go every time. Ramila wanted to go. But so we liked it, but we were not kind of sold on it that time.